What does it do to your two legacies?
Sometimes people talk shit a lot, and when they stay in the ring, they do nothing.
You know, a win against Canelo Alvarez put me, you know, on Mount Rushmore.
I know I have 2 losses. A fighter never think about lose.
He's significantly bigger than anyone you fought before, and he's one of the all-time greats. You're not going to feel apprehensive when you get in that ring against him?
Fear? No.
I will for you, and I'm not even you.
That's cool.
But can you accept he's better than you at anything or not?
No, because he ain't proven it yet.
We're gonna find out September 13th. That's why we are here, to see who is the best.
We're going to give the fans a show, for sure, because it don't take a big punch tonight.
The boxing world is getting ready for the most awaited fight of the century. The stage has been set up and all training has been completed. Terence Crawford wants to ruin Canelo's reputation. Here are the final opinions from some boxing experts who, starting with Dayton Young, is sticking to what they said would happen in Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford. And he's not trying to hide how worried he is. Many fans were interested in how Crawford would do at 168 after seeing William Skull fight, but not that one. He thinks that Skull and Crawford are very different cases. Skull's size, reach, and physical presence are not similar to Crawford's. Crawford is also 37 years old and trying to move up several weight classes, which is not an easy thing to do.
I feel like that didn't change my outlook at all, because you gotta think the size and reach and everything that William Skull has is way different from Terence Crawford. William Skull is a lot bigger guy. Terence Crawford, with him being 37 years old, he's not moving around like that, and he still has to move up all that weight. We don't know how his body is going to feel at 168, if he's going to be slower, if it's, because you know, like when you spar and stuff, heavy rounds and stuff, like you holding your arm.
Despite this, Dabwan continues to support Crawford, not only out of belief, but also out of brotherhood, though he admits he is worried. He does not want Crawford to take on a job for which he is not prepared. Dayton doesn't mean to say that Crawford can't win. It's all he's saying is that the approach needs to be very different. He's locked in. He's paying particular attention to this one because, for the first time, there's real uncertainty in the air.
It wear you down after a while and all that weight. It's just like, I don't know. I'm going for Crawford because, I mean, brothers gotta stick with brothers, but it's kind of like, I don't know. I'm really nervous for that fight, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to see my boy get bashed around because he's too little and shit.
When it came to Canelo versus Crawford, Oscar de la Hoya did not mince words. He stated that both men are on the wrong side of 35, implying that Canelo could be in danger. On the other hand, he praised Crawford as a dangerous, multi-dimensional fighter who can box, move, and change. But Oscar added a question mark: is Crawford capable of stopping a bull like Canelo? It's a high-stakes chess battle, and Oscar agrees it's unpredictable, explosive, and an exciting fight to watch.
Sorry that they're over 35 years old both, and I remember I fought Chavez when he was 32 and he was 99-1 and people thought he was over the hill. So
have you changed your pick for that fight, Oscar, based on how Canelo looked against Skull?
Yeah, it's hard to say. It's hard to say because Canelo, you know, obviously he walks on quicksand. We saw it against Skull once again. Crawford is very, you know, he's not one-dimensional. He can move, he can box, he can, you know, I don't know how hard he hits to keep Canelo away from him, but, you know, I think it's going to be very interesting. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the fight.
The facts are that they're both over 35 years old. And I remember fighting Chavez when he was 32 and he was 99-1. And everyone felt he was past his prime. So, have you changed your choice for that fight? Oscar, considering on how Canelo looked against Skull, it's tough to say. It's tough to say because Canelo, you know, clearly walks on quicksand. We saw it against Skull once more. Crawford is not one-dimensional. He can move, box, and, you know, I'm not sure how hard he hits to keep Canelo at bay, but I believe it'll be really interesting, and I'm looking forward to the fight. Young, on the other hand, respected Skull's plan, despite the fact that it looked Skull was hesitant to take chances. He made several clean shots, played it safe, and took advantage of his size. Crawford, however, does not have that size. He can't just hang back and jab from the stands for 12 rounds. That is simply not Crawford, and this is where the problem becomes complicated.
Skull kind of had, I respect his game plan, but it kind of looked like he didn't really want no trouble. But he was picking some little decent shots and everything like that. But with him being a bigger guy, like, you know what I'm saying, Crawford is just not that big. So he ain't gonna be able to stay on the outside and run all day like that. Like, I don't think Crawford gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna be that fight is not gonna take that complexion with Crawford and Canelo.
Decision to stoppage.
I hope not. I hope not. You know what I'm saying? I really don't know. I hope not, but if my boy pull it off, man, I'm gonna be proud of him, but I don't know. I'm still on the fence.
In addition, Troy Ely, who has sparred with Terence Crawford, is giving Canelo a clear message. Don't let the weight fool you. According to Ely, Crawford, skill, speed, and ring IQ more than compensate for size differences. That size isn't anything, he says. And coming from someone who has experienced Crawford's power and precision directly, that bears weight. Ely's theme is simple: Canelo best. Be ready, because Crawford isn't just coming up in weight, he's coming for fame.
My boy Terence gonna be ready. You see the size, ain't nothing. My boy Terence gonna be ready. We gonna be locked in. It's a big fight. And my boy Terence gonna take care of business, and he ready for it.
How do you think, you got a prediction? Obviously, you think he's gonna win? Do you think you'll stop him?
I gotta see it. My prediction is Terence will win. However, I gotta see it.
Adding to the hype, Kyron Davis, who has faced Canelo and Crawford, is being honest about what to expect in September. He believes the fight will come down to preparation and adjustment, especially for Crawford, who has previously competed at a heavier weight but must now perform at 168 pounds. Davis compliments Crawford on his conditioning and better expertise, but when it comes to predicting a winner, he leans slightly towards Canelo.
You been in there with Crawford? Yeah. So you've been in there with Crawford, you've been there with Canelo. What can you take from sparring both of them to gauge what's gonna happen in September?
Preparation is gonna definitely be everything. Crawford adjusting to the 168 pound division. I know he's been sitting at a heavier weight for a while, but he's been showing his training and stuff. So that's definitely gonna help him. Canelo experience. But you got Crawford, got great experience as well. It's going to be a great fight. It's going to be a good chess match. I expect a great.
Canelo, on the other hand, has been fighting at super middleweight for years, and Davis points out that moving up multiple weight classes is no easy task. Still, he doesn't rule Crawford out, but if anyone can make this kind of leap, it's him. Davis anticipates a high-level chess match, but thinks Canelo's natural stature gives him an advantage, if barely.
If favor somebody, I would just pick Canelo because of the weight disparity. Canelo is naturally sits really well at 168, and it's just always tough for a guy to come to 168 and come from that many weight classes up and do something like that. If he does it, if anybody can do it, it'll be Terence Crawford.
Boxer Kyron Davis is counting on Terence Crawford to win the greatest battle in boxing. After seeing Canelo's most recent performance, Davis says he didn't look sharp at all, and based on his sparring experience, Crawford has all the tools to take over.
He ain't look too good this past weekend. I'm Team Crawford, so I got Crawford all the way. I got Crawford beating up Canelo, actually, especially after what I just seen. Canelo just got better overall skills. The only thing Canelo has over Bud is the size. So once Bud neutralizes his power and his size, I think he's going to take off that night and have a dominant.
Crawford, according to Davis, is simply the better all-around boxer. Canelo's only advantage is his stature, which Davis does not think will be significant. He's seen Crawford size up against bigger guys and doesn't think the weight difference is as important as people make it out to be. He even goes one step farther. He feels Crawford can prevent Canelo from wearing him down with accumulation and relentless pressure late in the fight.
I just seen him size up, and actually I don't think it's going to be that much of a factor. So within Canelo performance he just had and them two just sizing up, I definitely got Terence all the way for sure.
Do you think he can stop it?
Yes, I actually think he can stop Canelo. A cumulative of punches, breaking them down throughout the rounds and just getting a late round stoppage.
Davis thinks Crawford's competitive nature is what distinguishes him. Whatever you throw at Bud, he will hit back harder. He is constantly trying to outdo you with jabs, lefts, and speed. That mindset, Davis says, is what distinguishes him.
Terrence, he's just a competitor. If I'm trying to jab, he's gonna try to out jab me. If I'm throwing the left hand, he's just gonna try to outdo everything I'm doing. So his best attribute is his competitiveness. You know what I'm saying? So he's an all-around fighter. I can't just single out one specific thing. So he's just a competitive, tough fighter.
Meanwhile, American boxer Carmelo Modin is betting big on Terrence Crawford and has a bad prediction. Crawford will not simply beat Canelo, he will rip him apart. According to Monaghan, Canelo is slowing down and still fails to cut off the ring, which Crawford will take full advantage of. Crawford's skill and intelligence will counter Canelo's power, breaking him down round after round till it's lights out. Crawford is about to dominate, and Canelo is in for his toughest fight yet.
I change my mind about this every time I think about it. I think either Canelo will be too big and Crawford's coming up too high, or Crawford's just going to pick him to pieces. And I think the latter, to be honest. I think Crawford will pick him to pieces. I think his boxing IQ, we've seen it before with even boxers like Caleb Plant that have just picked around Canelo for 10 rounds, then just got caught. Crawford won't get caught in the end, I don't think. So I think Crawford beats him on points, and I think it'll make it quite boring actually. I think it'll make the fight quite boring.
Furthermore, great Hall of Famer Ray Leonard has thrown his whole support behind Terrence Crawford ahead of his big fight with Canelo Alvarez. While acknowledging Canelo's physical edge, Leonard stirred up the crowd by reminding them that size isn't everything in boxing. Drawing on his own legendary career, he stressed that good strategy and ring IQ can overcome any physical barrier. Crawford's confidence has never been better, thanks to Leonard's support. This war will be more than just a power fight. It will be a high-stakes chess match in which intelligence and skill may be the difference.
What about Crawford do you think can bridge the weight gap? Or like with you, what did bridge the weight gap? Because a lot of people are just saying, hey, Canelo's just too big for someone like Terrence.
That's true, but you know what? There's always a way. Put it that there's always a way. There's always a way to win.
Kell Brook sees the possible Canelo against Crawford battle as a massive, exciting clash between two excellent fighters, but he strongly likes Canelo based on his own experience moving up in weight to face Gennady Golovkin. Brook knows how difficult it is to get into a higher weight class and face a naturally larger, stronger opponent.
You know, it's a wow fight. You know what I mean? It's two supreme athletes fighting against each other, but you've got to sway towards Canelo. Crawford's gonna have to, move up, and I knew when I boxed Golovkin, there's a big difference, especially with someone that, fighting a middleweight, a mediocre world champion's okay, but when you're fighting someone like, Canelo or Golovkin, it's a different kettle of fish, I have to lean towards Canelo. But
furthermore, he thinks that while Crawford is extremely skilled and dominant at welterweight, facing Canelo, who has proven himself against top-tier opposition at middleweight and super middleweight, is a whole other issue. Brook underlines that size, power, and physicality at that level should not be ignored. Crawford would have to be almost perfect in his view to overcome those drawbacks. And here is why Brook thinks Canelo will win the bout. I believe that when Maia beat Canelo, he was a mover. In that sense, he's more like Crawford than Mayweather. He's more, he sort of sets his feet. He's just, cute. We approach, throwing shots and moving, if you get what I mean. I believe it is a new fight for Mayweather, and Canelo is definitely a different fighter than when he faced Mayweather. Furthermore, Kell Brook regards Crawford as a top-tier, bright, and cerebral fighter, even pound-for-pound #1, but wonders if he has the movement needed to outbox someone like Canelo. He notes that Crawford isn't as smooth or evasive as Mayweather, who beat a much younger Canelo. Today's Canelo is bigger, stronger, wiser, and far more experienced. Brook respects both boxers, but thinks Canelo's stature, power, and ring generalship give him an advantage in this bout.
It could happen. I mean, why not? If Crawford want to challenge himself to be great, let him try to be great, So, you know what I'm saying? I'm with it. So, I'll be going for Bud, if he fight Canelo, I'll be going for him. I mean, I don't know if he gonna win or lose, but I definitely be going for Crawford. I think if anybody can pull it off, he can pull it off. Yeah. He's chasing greatness, so why not? Canelo came up to 175 and all that and fought Kovalev and fought the other guy too. So I mean, if he can do it, and he started at what 147. So I mean, if he's doing it, why can't Crawford do it?
Crawford's persistent approach, elite-level adaptability, and cold-blooded killer instinct may be the deciding factor in Canelo's loss. While many are focused on Canelo's stature and experience, Spence is counting on Crawford's ability to change the script and thinks it has the potential to knock down even the greatest names, regardless of weight class. I mean, it could happen. I mean, why not? Crawford wants to, and if Proper wants to push himself to be great, let him try, you know. So do you understand what I'm saying? I am with it. So you know I'll be going for good. You know, if he faces Canelo, I'll be rooting for him. I'm not sure if he'll win or lose, but I'll surely go. I believe he can pull it off. Okay, he is seeking greatness, so why not? Canelo raised his weight to 175 pounds and battled over and against the other guy. So, if he can achieve that, what did he start at? 147. So, if he can do it, why can't Crawford? The boxing world is buzzing with expectation for the biggest showdown, while Teofimo Lopez has added his honest and calculated prediction on the possible Crawford-Canelo fights, giving a take filled with respect, realism, and raw admiration. Lopez acknowledged Crawford's mountain of a challenge in facing a powerhouse like Canelo, calling it a true test of toughness. Crawford-Canelo, who do you have? Crawford? I still say Canelo. I also got Canelo. I still say Canelo. I believe Crawford has a higher ring IQ. Yeah, however, there is only a size change. I believe Crawford should test the waters with someone at that weight class before fighting Canelo, but, well, they call him a dog. He was shot in the head and drove to the hospital. Maybe that's why he thinks Crawford has what it takes to put Canelo in real trouble. Lopez went so far as to say Crawford may destroy Canelo's legacy if he pulls off the upset. He praised Crawford's toughness, tenacity, and warrior spirit. He's the type of fighter who refuses to give up even when hurt. Lopez thinks Canelo should take Crawford seriously because of his unbreakable mindset.
Guy, you know, he's coming up 2 divisions to fight Canelo Alvarez, and you think he's gonna go toe-to-toe with Canelo? Come on, man. You know, Terence Crawford's a great fighter, really good fighter, but that's too much weight for him. So he's gonna try to survive and move around and try to win the round. That's what's gonna happen. I think Canelo at the stage right now, his legs are not the same. You know, the body's not responding the same. So I think he's gonna have problems trying to catch Terence Crawford, to be honest with you. And I think it's gonna be the same fight. You know, I think I'm hoping that, you know, it's a little bit exciting because I heard that Canelo was the worst fight ever on pay-per-view to throw the less punches in history. So we're hoping to see a great fight, a good fight, but that matchup is not a matchup to beat.
Jose Benavidez Sr., the father and manager of top contender David Benavidez, is suspicious of Terence Crawford's move up to face Canelo Alvarez. He calls it a deadly mismatch, claiming Crawford is naturally smaller and cannot handle Canelo's power and quickness. According to Benavidez Sr., Crawford will be on the defensive for the majority of the fight, ducking and trying to steal rounds rather than trading shots. He did wonder if Canelo still has his original pace and skill, but he does not see this turning into a war, more of a one-sided fight. Meanwhile, Lonnie B is looking forward to the fight, but says it will be tough to predict. He knows Crawford is a smaller fighter who fights aggressively, but Canelo is bigger and thrives against guys who come to win. Lonnie tells out that Canelo's last 2 fights were against different styles, so his performance cannot be rated based on them. He warns that Crawford may try to play it safe and fight on the back foot, but if he is hit, I believe Crawford moves less than Skull. Crawford will try to fight him. Crawford is a dog. I'm just on the fence because Crawford is a smaller guy and Canelo is a bigger guy, but you can't judge Canelo's last 2 fights because they are 2 different styles. You know what I mean? Crawford will be trying to win. Crawford is going to be desperate to win, and Canelo has his best fights against guys like that. According to Lonnie, the main problem is Crawford's ability to withstand Canelo's punches. If Crawford can absorb the power, Lonnie believes that he will destroy Canelo. It all goes down to Crawford's tenacity and ability to take the punishment. Canelo cannot punch, so we never know what will happen when he is hit. So what happens when he is hit? Do you understand what I am saying? Like, that's the $1 million question. But Crawford's a dog, he got hurt. If Crawford is going to steal Canelo's power, I see Crawford destroying him. Furthermore, boxing promoter Antonio Gates predicts that Terence Crawford will enter the bout against Canelo Alvarez in great condition and thinks Crawford will win. However, Gates agrees that Canelo's power is a real threat that must not be overlooked. Despite this, he still believes Crawford is the finest boxer in the sport, but it's evident that defeating Canelo won't be easy. Gates' decision is based on Crawford's superior skills, but the physical challenge Canelo presents makes this far from a foregone conclusion. At the same time, experienced boxing pundit Jim Lampley praised Canelo Alvarez for his fight IQ, defensive expertise, and strong chin, which have vexed numerous opponents. Lampley emphasized that Canelo's tenacity is more than simply sheer power. It is his ability to take punishment, weather unrelenting storms, and stay calm and composed under extreme duress. This mental and physical resilience, Lampley believes, is what truly distinguishes Canelo, making him one of the toughest and most complete fighters in the game today.
He's smart. Absolutely, he's smart. He knows this business as well as anybody. So no, it's not surprising that Canelo learned from Floyd and has employed some of that in the retention of his career. Canelo still knows how to make fireworks when he absolutely has to make fireworks. But at the end of the day, he's a counterpuncher. He's a great defender. He has the most solid punch resistance of anybody in the sport. Nobody's ever really knocked him down. There's only one official knockdown in his career, and it was because he bounced off the ropes when Jose Cotto hit him with a hard shot to the chest. And the referee employed a strict interpretation of the rules and said, oh, the ropes held you up, so that's a knockdown. He's never been put on his back by any.
Furthermore, boxing icon Roy Jones Jr. took a forceful stand on the impending Canelo Alvarez vs. Terence Crawford mega fight and did not hold back. Jones stated that the result is totally dependent on which version of Canelo turns up. According to him, if Canelo tries to box Crawford and play it safe, he will lose. Crawford is too slick and smart, and he will outthink him the entire night. But if Canelo comes in with fire, determined to dominate, shows that he is still the top dog, and brings his characteristic aggression, he might just pull it off. Roy thinks that it is not just about competence, but also about mindset, and if Canelo takes the wrong fight, Crawford may wreck everything. It is a place to call home since everything will depend on how Canelo approaches the fight. Canelo approaches the fight as if he is the only man capable of boxing, and if I box Terence Crawford, he will lose. If he comes out and shows that he truly wants to compete and prove that he is still the best, he may win. So it all depends on which Canelo attends the dance. The possible fight between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford is shaping up to be one of the most exciting in boxing history. With Canelo's power, experience, and stature set against Crawford's quickness, ability, and unwavering heart, this fight promises to be explosive inside the ring. Whether it's a clash of styles or a battle of wills, fans all across the world are waiting to see who will emerge successful and seal their status as one of the all-time greats. Whatever happens, this fight is going to be unforgettable.